Welcome to Business Development Center Monthly, a show dedicated to talking about the Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center, where we bring you the latest information about the perfect place to get your business started. And now, let's meet our hosts.
Welcome to BDC Monthly. This is our monthly program that we talk about small business development. My name is Greg Goddard. I'm the Chief Executive Officer of Upper Coastal Plains Development Corporation. We manage and operate the business incubator here in Wilson and offering to surrounding counties. Today I have as my special guest Susan Kellum, who is the Wilson Downtown Development Corporation's Marketing and Communications Director, to talk about small business development in downtown Wilson. Welcome.
Thank you, Greg. Nice to be here.
Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Well, I have a few decades of marketing experience. I own and operated a promotional products marketing company here locally, and prior to that I was in packaging. So I've been involved in marketing in one way or another most of my career.
So this fits you well, the Marketing Communications Director, because you're working with a lot of small businesses, and you were a small business owner yourself.
Exactly. When I saw this job description, having been self-employed for most of my adult life, I wasn't sure that working for someone else was something that I could do, but when I saw this job description, I just thought that's me. Yeah. That's exactly what I'd like to do.
How long have you been with Wilson Downtown Development?
7 months.
7 months. So you're just getting started good.
I am.
But tell us a little for our viewers who may not be familiar with Wilson Downtown Development Corporation, what that organization is and what your mission and goals are.
Wilson Downtown Development Corporation is a group that is built on the North Carolina Main Street model. Our purpose is to develop the heartbeat of the community, the downtown Wilson. Our mission statement is a crossroads of Southern charm and modern innovation. Historic downtown Wilson is the heartbeat of the community where art, culture, and unique businesses draw people day and night. And that's our goal. Very good.
And how are you staffed?
We have a staff of 3. We are city staff. Kimberly Van Dyke is our director. Larissa Harper, who has been with us just 3 months, is our business recruitment and retainment coordinator, and I am the marketing and communications coordinator.
Very good. I think Kimberly has been here since July of 2009, as I recall.
About 3 to 4 years.
3 years. So you make a nice team working with downtown interest, both the owners of property, prospective small businesses. Who's your customer, so to speak?
Our customer is anyone who is looking to invest in downtown, whether through property ownership and development or business development. We work directly with the merchants. We work with anyone who wants to be a merchant or a property owner, and we provide a lot of services for that package.
Yeah. And your governance, I think you have a board of directors made up of local business owners and others in the community, city and county, and others that serve on the board of directors.
That's correct. We have a large board of directors, a very, very involved working board, most of whom have a stake, all of whom have a stake in downtown development and bring us special expertise, whether it's real estate or law or the arts or merchant expertise. An excellent group.
And your primary marketing and promotion area is a downtown area. I guess there's so many blocks around the downtown central business district.
Correct. Actually, the municipal service district is what we refer to it. I'm not exactly sure how many blocks are in it, but that particular district pays a tax. And that is how we are funded for our operating budget. The entities that are inside that district pay a 17 cents per hundred on their property value, and that operating budget is a little over $70,000 a year.
And those are dollars that are invested back into downtown properties. And I'm going to let you talk a little bit about. In a little bit some of the incentive programs that you have for small business development, but The board of directors, I think, is headed by Henry Walston, who's current president of Downtown Development, and you have various committees that these board of directors serve on. I've been privileged enough to serve since 2007 on the Economic Development Committee, looking at economic development issues in downtown Wilson. Tell us about the committees that you have that serve and support the staff.
Okay. We are organized on the North Carolina Main Street model, which is made up of 4 different committees: the Executive Committee, the Promotions Committee, which I head, the Economic Development Committee, which is headed by Larissa Harper, and then the Design Committee, which is headed by Elaine Hoy, who is a senior planner with the city and is sort of loaned to us to help as staff.
So you have actually, the board of directors, many of them serve on these committees and give guidance and support to the professional staff that work with the city of Wilson. Actually, your offices, I think, are actually in the city of Wilson facilities.
We're located on the 2nd floor of City Hall, which sometimes people don't realize where City Hall is. It's also known as the municipal building beside the police department and across from the courthouse.
Yes, very good. And I know one of the things that you've done in recent years is update your master plan or strategic plan, if you will, for downtown development. Can you share a little information about what's involved with the strategic plan?
The strategic plan, and this was a very intensive long-range project over about 1.5 years, 2 years, that was done by these 4 committees with a lot of community input. It was completed just before I came in, so I wasn't involved in the process, but there's a very detailed plan as to what we foresee for the future of historic downtown Wilson, with guidelines for each of these committees and for our staff as to what we want to accomplish ongoing. And of course, that mission statement that I spoke of earlier is the guiding principle for that plan.
Yeah, I've been involved with the Economic Development Committee as we look at ways that we can enhance the development of downtown Wilson, providing various types of incentives to encourage both property owners and prospective new and expanding businesses to look at the possibility of locating in downtown Wilson. I would say downtown Wilson is a very affordable place to be. Extremely.
It's a wonderful place if you're just looking to begin to go into business, because it's an excellent transitional place. Your business here is the best place to start, because if one of the largest expenses is your overhead, and when you're starting to have that total cost of overhead of support staff, of phone systems, of internet, but to be able to start out here and have that shared cost is a great first step. And then real estate downtown in general tends to be more expensive than the outlying areas right now. So that's a good second step to be able to transition into a downtown property.
Yeah. And I would say affordability, particularly for a new startup business, is very important, so that you don't have heavy overhead. And that's one of the things that we try to do here at the Business Development Center, is provide a very affordable place for a small business or an expanding business from a home-based business to expand to, in that we have one fee that we charge for the space, and that includes all the amenities, use of conference rooms, copy center, high-speed internet connectivity with green light, phone services, secretarial reception service. So we try to package an area that's very affordable. For as little as $275 a month, you can actually have a place and start your business and not have to worry about the commode stopping up or any of those other things that a business has to worry about. So it's a very affordable place. But we also have properties downtown that also are very affordable. You know, you're talking about square footage space from $8 maybe to $12, $15, where the general market rate for space is $12 to $18 per square foot. So it's a very affordable place to be, is in downtown Wilson. I was noticing on the program of work under the goal of promotions, you have a number of strategies. You want to talk a little bit about some of the strategies that you have?
We have a lot of things going on as far as promotions in historic downtown Wilson, and we'll be ramping up on those too. The promotions that we've had historically have been centered around the Downtown Alive Summer Concert Series, the Whirligig Festival that we work closely in conjunction with. In previous years, they've had what they called Festive Fridays, which were done during the holiday season. This year, we elected to take those 3 Fridays and just put them into one big package of a holiday kickoff weekend in early December, which was a great success. And we're going to be building on those, where we're going to be trying to do one promotion a month.
Excellent. Yeah, I know that the concert series at the library, for instance, was during the summer months and into the early fall, that you had those things, and they were well attended. And of course, Downtown Alive has been a big hit, drawing
really
2,000 and
has.
3,000 people to concert series in the downtown area. So I know those areas have been particularly good as far as promotions and marketing.
Anytime you can bring music out onto the streets, it's a big draw. We have a large employee group downtown that tends to leave at 5 o'clock, so we're going to be looking at doing some other musical draws also that'll bridge that gap between the end of the workday and the beginning of the supper hour, where we want them to stay and take part with our downtown restaurants.
When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the incentives that are available to prospective small businesses to locate in downtown Wilson, and talk a little bit about some of the projects that have been going on, particularly the Whirligig project. We want to talk a little bit about that and what the significance of that will be to downtown development. But stay tuned. We could be back in a few minutes just to talk some more about downtown development and small business development.
Ready to pursue your business dream? Business incubation may be the solution. The Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center has the answer. The center provides an all-inclusive professional work environment where your idea can turn into a business. With affordable office space, business counseling, conference and training rooms, state-of-the-art phone and internet connectivity, office technology, and receptionist support, you can be in business in no time. Just call, click, or come see us at the Upper Coastal Plain Business Development Center in downtown Wilson.
Welcome back to BDC Monthly. My special guest today is Susan Kellum, who is the Marketing Communications Coordinator of Wilson Downtown Development Corporation. And we've been talking about the partnership that we have with the BDC in downtown development and how we are helping small businesses grow and develop. We talked a little bit about the role that Wilson Downtown Development Corporation plays. We want to talk a little bit about, and let Susan talk about some of the incentives that are available to small businesses that elect to be located downtown Wilson.
The funds that are collected through the Municipal Service District, many of them are used for direct incentive grants and programs. 3 of those that we handle directly are the rent incentive grant programs, the owner-occupied building incentive grant, and the facade grant programs. And all 3 of those are matching programs that are given to incite potential business owners to help them transition into their first and or second year of business. Those grants can be you can elect to either have a 1-year grant, apply for a 1-year grant, or a 2-year grant. Those process requires a written business plan, which we will either help them do or refer them to the Small Business Center over at Wilson Community College to help them write a business plan. So all of the requirements along the way for it, we will help them or give them a resource to help them with to put their business plan together to apply for these grants. And then the grant is, as I said, a matching grant, so that it helps absorb some of that investment in that first and or second year of business.
As I recall, the grant awards in the first year are up to $6,000, and over 2 years about $8,400, and it really helps offset the cost to a new and growing business. So that's quite an incentive.
It is.
It gets helps with that cost of doing business. And you also, I think, have an owner-occupied building incentive program also for a property owner who wanted to actually improve their property as the owner of that building and also locate their business in there. So that program is also available to an owner of a building in downtown.
And works exactly the same way and for the same amounts as the
So
rent incentive.
$8,400, I believe, is it?
6,000 up to 6,000 for 1 year,
Okay.
8,400 for up to 2 years.
Yeah, that's a good incentive. And to talk about the facade grant, I think that's a visual improvement type grant.
It is. Facade grants can be applied for of awards of up to $10,000. And let's say you have a building that fronts on the front and the back, you actually can apply for a facade grant for both sides of that.
Didn't realize that. I thought it was just for the front of the building.
No. In fact, we have one business owner currently who is starting with a facade grant on the back of their building because it backs to a parking lot, a centrally located parking lot. So it could be used for the side also. But we also will help with that process. We have a local architect who works with us, and we will help. We will procure a drawing rendered for them to show them what it could be like. And again, that is a matching grant, so they will have some investment also. But
I think the design committee is involved with that part of it,
That's
helping
correct.
with the architecture and renderings of how a building would look. And I know that committee has been functioning and working with staff as well.
That's right. And depending on the building and where it's located, there may be some historical requirements that are involved in it. So we always want to make them aware of that and get the correct people involved in that process.
Yeah. I know you're involved. You mentioned earlier that you provide technical assistance to a prospective small business or an existing one as far as that's concerned, as far as getting their small business plan in order. That's also one of our requirements here, is that when you're coming in as a new business or expanding business, we want to see a business plan so we know what direction you're heading and make sure that we can help you in the way of counseling and mentoring you so that you can be successful. What we find with folks that have a business plan, they're far more successful long term, have more survivability when they have a plan to follow. So that's an important service that we provide here as well as downtown development, and then we partner with Pat Collette, the Small Business Center Director at Wilson Community College. So that technical assistance is real important to our marketplace. Let's talk a little bit about some of the key projects that are going on in downtown Wilson. Tell us about the Whirligig Park, because that's really a big deal.
It really is. It's scheduled to open in November of 2013, and we were just talking earlier, I think I've been involved in downtown development in many different ways in the 2 decades that I've lived here, including being a business owner downtown, and also being involved in many of the nonprofits. I've never seen a time as ripe for downtown development as it is currently. And a big part of that, two things, is that the national movement back in the 70s when the malls opened, the downtown sort of rolled up their sidewalks and sort of died and moved to the malls. And the national trend right now is, especially as we're seeing here currently locally in Wilson, for those interior design malls to close, and with the downtown revitalization is really making a comeback. And it's been a trend for a while now, and in conjunction with the Whirligig Park getting ready to open, those two things are really making this the best time to invest in historic downtown Wilson. For anyone who doesn't know what we're talking about for the Whirligig Park, Wilson has a wonderful treasure in a gentleman named Wallace Simpson, who for the last 2 to 3 decades after he retired started building giant, what he calls windmills out of scrap material out on his farm in Lucama. People have gone out for decades to look at them. They have reflectors on them. It's just an experience to behold. But as Wallace has gotten older and is unable to maintain those whirligigs, and as the community has seen what a treasure they have, the Whirligig Park, Wallace Simpson Whirligig Park Project, 501c, got together and arranged with him to purchase 30 of his whirligigs, which will be put on a 2-acre park in historic downtown Wilson. That's been in the process now for a year and a half. The whirligigs have been renovated at the conservation headquarters downtown, and They've been in fundraising mode since then. We've received a lot of large grants, and now we're in the local fundraising stage, and hopefully we're hoping to make the same kind of, have the same kind of momentum locally so that we can stay on schedule for it opening in November.
This is really the advent of an artisan district in that area. We'll have a number of artists and other people come and work in that area. It'd be a tremendous tourism attraction too. There are a lot of people in the country interested in this type of historical property. Let's see, some of the other things that you've done in the last few years has been a downtown farmers market developed. That's been significant to the local growers.
It really has. It's been very popular, and it's something that we're building on. We are working with them to develop even more venues for using the local farmers' products with our local restaurants. We have a couple of new restaurants downtown which do focus on making everything in-house and using fresh farm-to-table.
Natural foods.
That's correct, farm-to-table products. So we're looking at doing even more of that.
Good. You mentioned the restaurants. We have a couple new restaurants that just recently opened. Talk about a couple of our new restaurants that have located downtown.
City Market Cafe and Catering is located on Tarboro Street. If anyone's familiar with the old Ledoux restaurant, it's in that location. Gay Nail Stylings opened that about 4 months ago, and it has been received very well. Absolutely wonderful food. Everything is made fresh in-house. They make their own pasta. They make their own salad dressings. Desserts are unbelievable.
I can speak for the quiche. The quiche is great. And soup.
That's right. It's a small dining room. It's been open for lunch Monday through Friday up until recently. Now they've just added on, starting December 29th, a Saturday brunch from 11:30 to 3:30.
Now, do they serve breakfast or not?
They are not currently serving breakfast. She has plans in the future for delivery for some breakfast items and lunch items.
Very good. And then the other restaurant just recently opened. It may have been open a month now.
Williams of Wilson has been open just about a month. Their first 2 evenings that they were open for complimentary hors d'oeuvres was actually in conjunction with our holiday kickoff weekend of Downtown Christmas. So it has been just about a month.
Yeah.
And they
and
are
that's the old Agave Grill?
Agave Grill, or a lot of people still know it as the Torero's location.
Yes.
That's correct.
That's an outstanding place too. I can attest to the bison burger, which I had the other day. It was excellent.
It is no longer a Mexican restaurant, which
it's American cuisine primarily.
Right, with an international flavor. There's some Asian influence in there, but a lot of different things. And as of today, he is also starting a Blue Plate special. We have a lot of downtown employees who have to get in and out quickly, and it needs to be affordable. So he'll be having a special every day that'll be $7, including your beverage.
Quickly mention a couple of the other new businesses downtown. I think you got Studio B as a new one that's coming.
Yes, we're really excited about that. Trish with Studio Dance B, the director, is moving. The mall has closed, so she's moved her studio out and has chosen Historic Downtown Wilson as her new location, and she's been in business for a couple of decades. And that will bring activity during the evening hours because, of course, her students will come after school. So we're looking for some businesses to also support her clientele. We'd love to have a coffee shop move next door to her.
Yeah, and I know Dimples and Lace, which is a photography shop, has moved down there.
James Gray and Company, which has interior design. They have home decor. They also have regional wines and microbrews.
If our viewers want to get in touch with Downtown Development, is there a website or a phone number?
There are a lot of, there's going to be a website at the end of this month. We're in the process of looking to change the web address that it was initially set up under, but we're hoping that's going to be historicdowntownwilson.com. That is also our Facebook page, and currently, if you're on Facebook, that is one of the best ways to keep in touch with what's going on in downtown Wilson. Again, that's Historic Downtown Wilson on Facebook. We've been producing a quarterly newsletter that not only goes out
circular in the newspaper,
but it also has been used as a leave behind for restaurants, museums, etc. We're getting ready to supplement that with an e-newsletter. So
Wow.
if you'd like to be added to our e-newsletter, you can email me at skellum, Kellum, at wilsonnc.org and
Awesome.
ask to be added to that. And also, my number is 399-2228.
Very good. And if you're a small business owner or want to be a small business owner and interested in the space and services that we provide at the Business Development Center, go to our website at www.ucpbdc.com and view our 2 image videos there. And of course, you can always call us at 234-5900. We'd be happy to talk with you about your small business interests. We thank you for joining us today. We hope that we've informed you more about downtown Wilson and what we can do to help you at the Business Development Center in Wilson. Have a great day.